Hello, fellow Voyagers. Jess here with Odyssey Human, here today to talk about getting your SP by Valentine's Day. We have a special 4-part series. I'm going to explain to you how this is going to work, how you can participate, and what to expect in this process. So welcome to the channel. This is the place where we help you hack through the jungles of consciousness so that you can discover the hidden treasures inside of you. My friends, everything is there, ready to be activated as a state of potential in your awareness. So if that sounds good, please subscribe. I'd love to have you on the channel. And I wanted to shake things up, do something a little bit different. And I've never done a challenge before. This is common with other manifesting coaches. And so I'm actually going to make a 4-part series, right? This is the beginning of January 2024. And there's a few weeks before Valentine's Day. And classically, that was always a time of year that made me feel sad, right? Valentine's Day, I perceived as not being built for single people. And so I want to help you get over the hump. If you are someone who has been trying to manifest your specific person, your special person for a little while, I want to give you some new tools, some things maybe you have never heard of, some strategies and techniques that you've never done, and do it consistently over the next few weeks, knowing that you're supported, knowing that I'm here for you, knowing that other subscribers are also participating. So that we can get there, get to where we want to be, get to feeling loved, get to feeling chosen, get to feeling, get to February, Valentine's Day, crossing the finish line as the people that we want to be. So if you want to participate, if you're in, drop a comment below. Tell me right now, are you in? I'm here. I want to do this. I always engage with everyone who comments on my channel. And let me know that you're in. And if you do need to reach out to me for any reason, my email address is also in the description box. So every week I will give you a new tool, right? A focus, something to narrow your attention on a particular aspect or feature of your awareness. You do the homework for that week, and then Friday mornings when I release the next video, I will present you with a new tool, and that is then going to be your focus for the next week. So each of the tools I present to you, you use for about a week, and they'll kind of build on each other. So if you're watching this and it is past February 2024, follow them in order. I have marked each part of the training in order, and follow that same structure. Do it for about a week, watch the next video, do it for about a week, and this will bring you to exactly where you want to be with your specific person and get them in your life, get you much closer to the identity that you want. So one of the things, and today I want to talk about creating a vacuum. I have never, ever heard any other coach talk about how to create a vacuum. I think sometimes with manifesting, the cognitive tools that we're given are too much. Like we're being asked to do a lot of things that in the beginning feel really difficult and really onerous and really, that's at least what I felt in the beginning. Now the trend of manifesting is kind of like, just be it. But I want to break that down of just being it. We're gonna actually give you steps, some action steps you can take to just be it. And the first one, your homework, your focus, your attention for this week, if you're participating with us to get your SP by Vday, is create a vacuum. And we're going to start this process of disidentifying from who we are being now. Disidentifying from the behaviors and the habits and the cognitive rehearsal that we're doing as a single person, as someone who doesn't have their SP, as someone who is missing their SP, as someone who is lonely, as someone who thinks about their SP and perceives this huge distance of how am I ever going to be with this person? Or this can even applies just if you're single of, will I ever meet the love of my life? What we need to do, the first step is to disidentify as that version of ourselves. And so I want us to be really honest. Take a moment. I'm going to have you do an exercise right now. Go ahead and close your eyes if you're not driving a car. Take a moment and really think about, bring into your mind's eye the behaviors that you're doing that are reinforcing that you're single, that you don't have your person, that you're missing them, that you're alone. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you doing in your 3D world? Right? This can involve, checking social media, looking for evidence of where this person is. Even like using a lot of dating apps, or that seeking behavior of feeling lonely, feeling the emotions of loneliness, looking at other coupled people and with resentment, thinking of your person, ruminating on them, thinking of, reminiscing about bad relationships you've had in the past. What are the things that you're doing as this person that you're being now that hurt, right? They hurt. They feel negative. They feel, right? And this is the part we're resisting, because resistance is really, we believe that we are somewhere. We don't want to be there, but we think it's the truth. And so what are the things, let's be really honest with ourselves. What are the things that, and this can even include excessively trying to manifest our SP, the frantic, like trying, affirming like crazy, just all the time, watching tons of coaches to try and find the answer, that desperate seeking, that longing, that wanting, the feelings that keep us separate from being the person who has it. And when we stop and think about this, we may need to reflect more than we just did now. When you really stop and think about, what are the actions that I'm doing cognitively and also out in my 3D reality and emotionally, what am I doing that is showing myself, showing my God self, showing my subconscious mind that I am alone, that I don't have this. And we're going to totally disidentify from that. Totally, completely disidentify. We're going to drop it cold turkey. That's our first step in this process, is unconditioning the old state, unconditioning who you are now, who you've been up until this very second, that is missing their person, separate from their person. That's not you anymore as of right now, right? You can literally go cold turkey on this. Think about times in your life when you've done this. This is entirely possible. You had the conviction and the belief to drop something cold turkey. Maybe it was a job. Maybe it was a friendship. Maybe it was some other situation where you're like, I am done with that. I am done with that bullshit. I'm done with it. So this is what I need you to do now. I need you to disidentify from this version of you that you're being right now that doesn't have what you want completely. Stop the behaviors. Some of the things, the ways to actually put this into action is my swipe left technique. So, right? So when you have a sad feeling thought about your SP, or worry about the future, or doubt, you swipe left on the thought. I made a video about this. I'll link it above. That's one technique you can use. When you catch yourself, when you become aware that you're doing the behavior of the old identity suddenly, drop it, right? So dismiss any negative thoughts you have. When you have a negative emotion, dismiss it, because it's literally not real. I also made a video about this that was hugely popular. This identity that you have now isn't real. It's not you. If you want to follow up with this, that video about your unwanted conditions aren't real. And so, yeah, that's why we can drop it cold turkey, right? Our belief in it, our belief that this is what's true for us. We're truly a person who is distant from our SP. If we've been learning about manifesting for a while, there is no separation, right? We know that intellectually, but we may still be assessing where we are right now as the truth. Well, this is just where I'm at. This is what's true for me. It doesn't have to be. You can literally go cold turkey on this identity of being separate from it, of being apart from it, of being single, of being alone, of being someone who's frantically trying to manifest their SP. We can drop that identity and so kind of encapsulate the behaviors that identity has. Think about all the things that you do and cut them cold turkey. Just stop. Just stop. You can do it. You can just stop them, literally. When you catch yourself in the act of doing them, say, I'm not that person anymore. I am not that person. And that's how you do it. So, because it isn't you. It's not you. And that's why it feels bad. That's why all of these behaviors and actions and thoughts and emotions feel bad, because they are part of an identity of where you're not supposed to be right now, right? You're supposed to be with your SP. They're loving you. You're loving them. That is where in consciousness you are meant and destined and fated to be right now. So go there. Go there by dropping this old character, this old identity, and creating a vacuum. And we're not going to put anything, a lot of people say with habit change that we have to replace the habit with something else. We're not going to go right in quite yet for believing that we're the new version. So trust me on this. We're just going to focus on dropping the old identity, right? When we feel ourselves engaging in the behaviors, proclaim, I'm not that anymore, and feel it, believe it. Belief is the secret sauce in this. Believe it. Believe it. Like that's what's going to get you faster, because you're not. You are not that person. You're not meant to be there. You're not meant to be embodying this identity, because that's why you still want it, because you feel the pull of where you're supposed to be. Happy, married, coupled, dating, wherever you want to be with your specific person, your special person. That's where you're supposed to be. So we got to let go. We got to let go of this, the truth of where we are now, this identity, and create a vacuum. So in its place, if you find yourself, once you kind of keep cold turkeying the old identity, right? Where you don't have to work. So no more affirmations about your SP. No more, don't drop all of the manifesting techniques you're using about your SP right now, and focus solely on dropping this identity. The one who's working so hard, the one who's separated from them, the one who's single, the one who's alone. Drop it. Just go to cold turkey. And in its place, feel the vacuum. Imagine the blackness and the void of space. Imagine your I am. Imagine your God self or your creator self. Imagine just Zen, a feeling of Zen. Keep dropping the old identity, the behaviors, the thoughts, the feelings, keep just dropping it. And then in its place, you can immediately follow with the Zen, the I am, the all, feel the all for a second, and then move on with your day. Keep going with your day. So this is what we're going to replace it with. If you have a positive thought about your SP, if you have a happy thought or a loving thought or a loving vision, that's fine. That can stay. You don't have to swipe left on that. But if you're doing anything of the old identity, we're getting rid of that. We're not identifying with it, and believe that. Dip into the belief. So that is your focus for the week. Try this for a week. Do it for a week. Because this is sometimes what gets people over the hump, is just doing this, right? This is an alternative to detachment. When people say, oh, just forget about it and let it go. This is an alternative. This is an active, intentional process of releasing the old identity, releasing the identity of the you who doesn't have what they want, stopping being that person. And we do that again by swiping left on the thoughts or just declaring cold turkey, I'm not that anymore. I may not be exactly where I want, but I'm not that anymore. I described that in my About Time video just recently. I'll put that one above too, where I described it as looking in the rear view mirror, right? Look in the rear view mirror of the current version of you and let it go. Genuinely. That's the trick. Genuinely. And it's okay. It's okay if you don't quite know what to put in its place. But for now, for this week, our focus for this week, our homework is to let go of the identity, let go of all the processes, let go of all the affirming, just let it go. That's the beauty of it. You can just be like, yeah, not doing that, not me, that's not me anymore. Stop being the version of you who doesn't have it, who's frantically manifesting, who's seeking, who's wanting, who's desiring, who's longing, who's sad, who still feels single, and that's a really big problem. Just stop being that for now and create a vacuum. Create a vacuum, because if you were with your SP and you had what you wanted, you wouldn't be feeling any of those things. You wouldn't be doing any of those things. So just like I said, in dropping it, in stopping, consciously stopping being that identity, consciously unconditioning that identity, consciously saying cold turkey, I'm not that anymore. I'm not that person. That's not me anymore. You are moving yourself that much closer to physically, really, actually, truly, believingly, I don't know if that's a word, being with your SP, right? Because that you'd be a lot closer to doing that when you have it for real, when it's in your 3D, when you truly believe that in your heart, like I'm with this person. You wouldn't be identifying as a version of yourself you may be now who is desperately trying to get it and working really hard, right? So your bonus activity, if you really want to take this for the next level, I'm going to try and give you a bonus activity each week of the 4-week training. Your bonus for this week, you can do a little ritual around letting this person go, this identity, this version of you. You could write down all of the behaviors, the thoughts, the feelings that this version of you has and burn them. You can smudge with sage, with Palo Santo. I love Palo Santo. You can smudge yourself. You can smudge your living space and kind of exercise the old version of you, right? When I finish smudging, I like to open the door and be like, out, you're gone. Old energies, old thoughts. You can do that. So have a little ritual where you're literally letting go of the old version of you and wishing them well, sending them back into the field of potential, sending them back into love, releasing them completely. And believe it, you are not this person anymore. So it can be as quick as snapping your fingers. You can add ceremony and ritual to it. If you have any questions, comments, drop them below. I'm happy to engage with you. And remember, your homework for this week, create a vacuum by disidentifying from this old version of yourself that you still believe is your truth. You believe it's true. That's why you're hanging on to it. So it's not you anymore. Just stop being that person. Stop the behaviors. Stop the thoughts. When they come up, just don't identify with them. They're just old habits. Be gone. Be gone, old habits. That's not me anymore. And check out the other videos I mentioned because they will go more in depth on how to do this if you need additional assistance. So thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I am so excited for you to be on this journey with me. Bye.